All right, here it is, another episode of Let There Be Talk. Today it is a solo episode starring you, me, yours truly, whatever that all means. It is episode number 690. 10 away from 700. Absolutely insane to me. 700 episodes of Let There Be Talk, all for free. Come on. How are you guys? It is a Monday. And I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, about to start the 14-show residency here at the Comedy Cellar at the Rio Hotel. So if you are in Las Vegas for the Easter week, Easter's coming up, come join me. Come down for some laughs. 2 shows a night, 7 and I think 9:30, Comedy Cellar in Vegas. Good to be here. Going to be working on a bunch of new stuff. I love coming out to Vegas and, trying to polish up some of this new stuff. So it'll be a great week. And I don't know what you guys are doing for the Easter week, but catch a flight, come out and party. It is 2 days after April Fool's. So I'm glad that foolish stuff's over. April Fools. I started thinking about, how did April Fools, catch on? What is the history of it? And how come people are still doing it in 2023? What are you doing? We got the internet. We have cars. We have airplanes. And people are still holding on to some old, it's fun. It's fun. Don't be such a downer. It's dumb. How did it fucking start? I didn't even Google to find out how, and I should have, but maybe you guys know, and you can hit me on the Instagram or Twitter and tell me how it caught on. April Fools. It's so insane. That one. And the Irish Day, you're not wearing green, I'm gonna fucking pinch you. All that weird shit, which was fun, maybe in the 20s, the roaring 20s, or the 30s or the 40s. But we are in 2023, my friends, and people still out there. Once in a while, someone pulls off a killer April Fool's, but not really. I will tell you this, though. On Wednesday afternoon, there was the rumbling rumors of this super desert concert Power Trip. And if you don't know what that is, you must be sleeping under a fucking rock, because anybody a fan of this podcast definitely knows what Power Trip is. It's out there where they do Coachella, done by the same people, where they had the Big Four back in whatever year that was, years ago now, the Big Four with Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. And they had Old Sheller. Remember that? They pulled off that one where it was all the big old people bands. I think it was like Dylan Stones and the Eagles or something like that. Crazy. But here it is, Power Trip. And so the rumblings were around Wednesday. Rumors were dropping that there was this super concert in the desert. It was going to be Iron Maiden, Guns N' Roses, Ozzy, AC/DC, and Metallica and Tool. And I was like, oh, man, this is going to be the greatest April Fool's joke ever. That's all I kept thinking. They're going to have these rumors going, and then they'll drop some kind of poster, and then on Saturday it'll be April Fool's. I'm thinking this is going to be fucking funny, because I'm really good friends with one of the guys that is one of the main dudes of Coachella. I've known him for 35 years. And I thought, well, wait a minute, maybe, he would have told me. He knows I love AC/DC and Metallica, and I love the whole bill. So I text him, And he's like, yeah, yeah, man, it's happening. And I was like, well, this guy, this particular guy I'm talking about, he is definitely a funny dude and a joker. So I was like, I still don't really believe it. But then he sent me over the flyer, and then he sent me over this Beavis and Butthead video. And I was like, well, this would be a pretty intricate April Fool's joke. But those are the good ones. Those are the good April Fool's jokes, the super intricate ones that are slow build. And then everybody goes, ah, fuck, you got us. So, it was, it turned out to be real. And man, what a fucking lineup in October they got out there in the desert. And of course, here comes the fucking internet. That's it. Here comes the internet with their fucking complaints. I can't believe how much it is. The fucking tickets are bullshit, man. This is bullshit. The prices. It's unreal what people, want. They want everything free. Ever since they stole music, that's why the concerts are how much they are. I keep telling people that over and over. Do you realize you stole the music and now you're going to pay triple for concerts and t-shirts and everything because you stole the music? That's, there's no other revenue. And when you look at the bill, I ask people, they go, this is fucking outrageous. I'm like, how much did you think it was going to be? What year are you living in? Where are you going out these days? Because I'll tell you what, I open my fucking front door and it's $100. So let me know where you're getting all these fantastic deals in the universe, because it does not exist. Okay? A movie in Los Angeles, a movie is $20 just for the movie. Not the fucking bullshit red vines that are $9 and the popcorn that's 10 and the Coke that's 7 and the parking. Just the movie is $20. So when you look at that bill, just one band is $150 at least, just one band. And that's like nosebleeds, very back of the rafters. If you wanted to see Metallica, you might be able to get a ticket for $150. I don't think you could, though. So I just don't understand what universe, what planet people are looking at or living on that see that lineup and not go, holy shit, that is the lineup of the century. That looks like a lineup from 1988 Castle Donington in the UK. A Monsters of Rock, one of those back in the day. And people go, well, yeah, back in the day, that ticket would have been $40. Yeah, back in the day, you fucking bought the records. You bought a $15, $20 CD, and they sold 3, 4, 5, 10 million records, all those bands on that bill at $15 a CD. The people complain forever. I do not understand how you walk around life and just complain. It's going to be big money. You see that goddamn lineup. Do you think it's going to be $75? Do you live in that kind of fucking world? Just for these bands to get out there. And I just did the Marcus King tour, and we broke it down with the bus driver, how much it costs just for a bus. Just for these bands, just to get out to Coachella is going to be a fortune. Then they got to get their crews out there. They got to get their production out there. They got to get hotels. They got to rehearse. They got to get flights. They got to feed all the people. They got to pay all the people, the lighting, the sound man, the techs, everybody, the security, anything. Before they even fucking leave the door, it's probably $1 million to get out to do this show in the right way, where they want to make it, insane. And each band's going to go all out. There's going to be some old school competition. They're going to give you the old bullshit of like, this is just far out, man. All of us together. We're just one big family out here in the desert celebrating metal. It's just incredible. But, you know, deep inside, they're like, dude, we got to bring out the fucking submarine. We got to have a flying saucer come off the drum kit. We need to have not just fire, but let's actually have some missiles, some real missiles that we can fire off over to some other wars going on. You know, we'll get two things out of the missile. We'll get a wow factor, and we'll be able to shoot something down. I'm telling you, man, these bands are going to go for it. Each band's playing a full set with full stage. It's not the standard 75-minute festival shit. This is full blown 2 bands a night going at it. And man, look at that lineup. So I just don't know what planet people are living on, where they think that the tickets were going to be, you know, not expensive. Everything's expensive. I'm telling you, man, I can barely do comedy on the road right now because a flight to like Denver that used to be $299 is $800. And every time I go to eat after a show, it's $25. I'm not going to fucking Burger King, and I'm not eating high roller style. Just everything's fucking crazy. Coffees are $5. Gas here in LA is $5. You know, it goes on and on and on. So instead of shitting on it, sit back for a minute and think about what these guys did at Coachella. They put together a dream bill. Now, I bet you, I'm willing to bet you, if you were with your buddy and the buddy said, man, what's your dream concert? And he's like, I don't know, man. He's like, what's your dream concert? And the guy goes, how about this? This would be my dream concert. Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, AC/DC, Ozzy, Metallica, and Tool. And the other guy in the Beavis butthead like, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. And then the other guy, I guarantee we go, dude, I'd pay $1 million to see that. I'd pay $1 million to see that. I guarantee that comes out of the guy's mouth. Dude, I'd pay $1 million to see that fucking bill, man. Oh, fuck. That's a dream bill. It's crazy, man. Instead of just sitting back and thinking what these 2-3 guys, these promoters out at Coachella put together, instead of celebrating it, you just immediately, and I guarantee you this, 90% of the complainers, 90% weren't going to go anyway. Even if the tickets were $100, they wouldn't go. Because they'd be, man, I got fucking, you know, it's all the way out there in the desert. I live in Kansas, you know. Fuck them anyway. That shit's stupid. That fucking stuff's dumb because they're afraid to leave their house, take a flight, find a hotel room, and go enjoy themselves. You know, instead, they go down and buy the $10 pack of cigarettes, sit on the patio. Yeah, fuck those guys. Fucking suck. All those people in California suck at that concert. Fuck them. I love it. I love the fucking nutty negativity of these people out there. Just crazy. It's gotten worse and worse. Anyway, Power Trip. It is going to be fucking epic. Not quite sure on that goddamn name, Power Trip, but holy shit, the lineup. So many questions, too. So many questions. And nothing's been really answered or even talked about except the lineup, which gives it that crazy mystique. But who's going to sing for AC/DC? Is it going to be Axl or is it going to be Brian Johnson? People right away go, oh, Brian Johnson. I mean, of course. What do you mean, of course? The last time we heard Brian Johnson, you know, they put out the record. But before that, Axl did the last dates, and Brian hasn't really sang in years. out live, other than a couple spots here and there with Dave Grohl, or he sat in with somebody else. I think it was Billy Joel for a song here and there, but we don't know. I don't know. He had some kind of special hearing stuff, I guess, and so we don't know about that. Also, if you listen to my podcast, the only podcast to have AC/DC, thank you. Cliff Williams, bass player, said, yeah, I'm not going to tour. Now, this is not a tour. We don't know if AC/DC is touring or anything. That's another question. Is it just a one-off? Are they going to play 4 shows? Cliff Williams said, I'll play like 4 shows. And so we don't know about that. We don't know what the state of Ozzy is. Last I heard, Ozzy, he's having a hard time with his balance. And, he was not able to tour. I understand that. I thought maybe Ozzy would do like an internship out in Vegas, a residency though, where he could just kind of chill in one of those Dave Grohl, Axl Rose chairs and just sing some tunes. So we don't know what's going on with Ozzy. And it's a long ways away, man. It's in October. That's a lot of months away. And then the interesting thing to me was GNR and Iron Maiden are playing together. And it looks to me like Iron Maiden's going on first. Now, look, there's no headliners or any of that, but they both play the same amount of time. But it would be tough to go on after Iron Maiden, because those fucking guys bring the goods with airplanes and fires and Eddie and an army full of fans and hits. They're going to come with some massive Number of the Beast stuff. They're going to come with a bunch of great stuff, Live After Death style. And then I know they're not going to fuck around, because I think there was a beef between the 2 years ago. So interesting. A lot of good stuff. And then Metallica and Tool could be one of the greatest bills I've ever seen right there. Metallica and Tool. Tool in the desert on a good fucking handful of psychedelics could be probably one of the coolest things you would ever see. So this is going to be epic. And holy shit. So it's going to be great to see how this unravels over the next 3-4 months. Any kind of press releases, see if AC/DC kicks something out saying, hey, man, Brian's in. We're on our 50-year anniversary. We're going to do the Back in Black record. If AC/DC came out and said, we're going to do the Back in Black record, I mean, just that statement would be worth the ticket price alone. Come see us in the desert, play the Back in Black record. Come on, man. That would be fucking nutty. So I'm fired up about it. And if you aren't, just turn your computer off. Everybody's a goddamn critic. I'm a fucking bad. Okay. I had a great week this week of shows. I was out at the Comedy Store, 4 spots this week. Last night I did Sunday night. The Comedy Store is slowly opening back up on Sunday nights again, which is epic. Comedy Store is always open 365 days a year. They were never closed until COVID. Then they opened back up, and it was tough to get employees for a while. And it was tough to just kind of get everything running again. Now it's up. It's just been killing it. The Comedy Store is better than ever. Just all 3 rooms sold out every night, and a lot of just magic going on in there. And last night was the first night of Sunday nights again, and I got to do the original room. And it just made me remember how great Sundays were, because it was really just a different vibe when you were working on Sundays at the Comedy Store. You could go in, really work some new shit. It was really a lot of super comedy fans that were in there every Sunday. So I'm glad to see that back. But I did a bunch of spots this week, but one thing that was really epic to me was I got a call from Dave Ketching who is the owner of Rancho de la Luna. That is the infamous Joshua Tree recording studio where so many epic records have been made. And, you know, Dave Ketching and Brian BOC, Brian O'Connor, you know, out there nonstop recording. And they asked me to come out and maybe work on a tune or sing something. And now, look, I don't do music anymore. And there's a reason why I don't do it, because I fucking love doing comedy. And I've said it over and over. I've done music for 25 years and I'm good. I put that away. Rollins was talking about it recently and I could relate to him. And I wasn't ever even at a level of Rollins. So, you know, in life, sometimes you find something later in life that you love. And so I just don't ever have that itch at all. All I think about is comedy every day. So they called me and they said, you want to come out? And this group of people, immediately I said yes. Because first of all, I grew up listening to all the great desert music. Of course, Caius and later Josh with Queens of the Stone Age and what he turned that fucking just behemoth into. And Dave and, you know, Eagles of Death Metal and everything in that studio and Sonic Highways, that whole cool episode of Grohl out there. And then my favorite episode ever of No Reservations with Bourdain and Josh driving through the desert in that T-Bird and then ending up at Rancho and just recording and hanging out. It's got this fucking energy that I love. And so they gave me a call. They said, will you come out? I said, absolutely. And they said, oh, Brad Wilk's going to play drums. Head explodes right away. One of my favorite humans. I absolutely love Brad, and Rage being a top 10 band of all time to me. And Brad's playing is insane. Then Dave on guitar, Brian on fucking bass, and me in the little tracking room. We're just working up, trying to find some magic. And immediately it starts happening. And I realize, oh, this room has magic. And that is the bottom line. And it is unreal how we were just in there, and in a matter of like 40 minutes or 50 minutes, we had a tune going. And it was one of the greatest days I've had in a long time, other than opening for Burr at Red Rocks or LA Forum or the Bon Scott Bash, the last one. Those are like high watermarks to me. And this just slid right in there. It's like Day on the Greens, Us Festival, opening for Burr at Red Rocks, opening for Burr at the Forum 2 times. And then, you know, the Bon Scott Bash, the last one, and then this. Those are just fucking mind-boggling memories in my head. And it just meant so much to me to be out there and be part of that. It's basically the 30-year anniversary of the studio, and they're putting out maybe a double record or whatever, vinyl, with all these different people coming together and writing and tracking songs and going to put it out. And they're not full bands. They're just people like, you know, me, like piece together and find some creative energy and put some shit out and celebrate everybody that had worked in there. And I got to tell you, man, it was just an incredible day out there all day. And then the end of the afternoon, we went to some secret taco shop in the back of a grocery store that I have never been in Yucca. And I'm out there all the time, didn't even know about it. They serve breakfast burritos at night, which is always my favorite. a breakfast burrito at night is my jam. And we sat around and talked life and had laughs. And I realized, if those guys said, hey man, you want to make a whole record, I would do it just for the fucking memories and the feel goods. The feel goods. I would do it for the feel goods. Anyway, so I don't know if it's going to, my track will ever get finished or come out or whatever. It's not even about that at all. It was just about taking a day off out in the desert and going in and recording. And it was interesting to me because I hadn't used that muscle of songwriting in a long time. And it came right back instantly. And that's from doing something for 25 years. Like, I want to get to a level in comedy where I'm okay right now at finding the bits, but then it takes me a while to get them working and rocking, months and months of creating it. But I want to get to a level in comedy. This is what I'm looking forward to getting to, at the same level I am at music as far as writing process. Being able to hear a groove and gears start instantly turning of like, oh yeah, this would be a good melody. This would be a good melody over this part right here. Is it a verse or am I feeling a chorus here? Maybe we move this over here and make that the verse, and this will be the chorus. Just flipping stuff around, hearing it, shouting out melodies, coming up with key little lyrics here and there, real fast. And a lot of my jokes come like that magically. But then with jokes, you got to sit down and expand on it. Where music, you got a verse and then you got a chorus and you got a verse, then you got a bridge and then you got a chorus. You can pretty much figure that out once you get rolling. But with jokes, you can have a 2-minute thing and later in a few months, it could become 10 minutes. And how fast that becomes 10 minutes is the difference between someone like me and the big level dudes like a Burr or a, Norm Macdonald, where the joke you think is this, it's really about this, but no, it's not. It comes around. It's a full circle, the joke, it's not just the surface of what you think it is. Like the little throwaway fun thing I had of Cocaine Bear. You think it's just about the movie, but no, it's not. It's about 3 other things. So that's the thing I'm looking forward to getting to in comedy that I can seem to do with music. Now, look, I'm not saying it was a hit song or anything. What I'm saying is how fast I can kind of hear it and start working on it. So looking forward to that phase to get to that level in comedy, which would be really cool. Anyway, thank you, Rancho and the Rancho family, Brad, Dave, Brian, and I wanted to give a shout out to the fucking engineer / producer out there. This is what I want to tell you guys. So there is a thing in the recording studio that happened 30 years ago or so, which was Pro Tools. I don't know when it first came out, but when Pro Tools first came out, Pro Tools, what it is it's a way that everybody records now on the computer. You grid up tracks, you don't use tape. And I've been talking about how great Pro Tools is now. Like if you listen to all this new Metallica, it just sounds so fucking good, man. And old days, Pro Tools was flat. Digital recording was kind of, it was kind of funky. But you did it because it was cheaper and it was convenient. You could record in your house or in your rehearsal studio, whatever. But there was a dude. Now let me see if I can find this. Here it is. That was working on the he was on the desk. He was on the desk. That's what some people call the mixing board. I was over on the desk mixing up some tones, mate. And some people call it the table. He was on the table. This guy, Paul Frazier, and he's from Europe. And I got to tell you, other than Jakir King, who I had on the podcast, who is, and you want to follow Paul Frazier, his Instagram is Space Music Producer. But other than Jakir King, I had never seen a guy this fucking good in the studio, not in your fucking hair, not in your ear, just understanding. I'm like, dude, maybe fly this right here and then cut this and repeat it like 3 times without even sitting there going over it with him. I would turn around, sip my Topo Chico, and he would be playing it and it would be fucking perfect. This guy is a wizard. And I tell you what, when you get a guy like that in the studio that does not slow down the creative process, you are going to have a killer record, because there's nothing more that kills a creative process than a guy that doesn't know what he's doing on the desk, on the buttons, on the computer. Because you'll be like, hey man, can you maybe fly in that vocal? Now this is all technical terms, you know, like, can you fly in that vocal and maybe drop it over here? And then the guy goes, huh? And you got some intern and he's over there trying to fucking figure it out. And you're just going like, I'll be outside for a minute. And you come back in 20 minutes later, he still doesn't even know what the fuck's, is this what you're talking? Over. Creativity over. But when you got a guy like this guy, Paul Frazier, I've never heard of him. I go, what have you done? He's like, everything. Let's see what he has done, actually, because I didn't really Google him or anything, because I just knew how fucking good he was that he had to, let's see, producer, let's see, producer. Let's see here, Paul Frazier. Motherfucker. Here it is. Oh my God, I found it. Okay. Space is a British recording artist composer. Oh, wow. His pseudonym is Space. Oh, yeah. I feel like an idiot, too. Like I didn't know anything about this guy. But I mean, I can't know everybody. He's 40. His birthday's 3 days after mine. Wow. Okay. Space list of projects include work with the, with Idols. What a fucking band. That's right. He told me he worked with Idols, which is, unbelievable band. Never Not Nothing. The Prodigy, of course. He worked with the Prodigy because that's how fucking good he is with the computers. Do Nothing and Jamie Lindman, as well as the score for 2020 film The Owners. I'm telling you, man, this guy, I'm looking at his discovery, and it is deep. Idols EP Meet, which is a great fucking EP. Anyway, The Prodigy, The Day Is My Enemy, 2015. Anyway, my point is the guy I needed to shout him out because I just couldn't believe how great he was. God, man, it was just an honor to work with those guys out there. I mean, Brad Wilk, oh my God. Anyway, so by the way, I wanted to bring up this this new band that I heard, or I don't know if it's a band or a person, but Eve's Tumor, and it is unbelievable. The song that I really love is Heaven Surrounds Us Like a Hood, and the record is called Praise the Lord who chews, but which does not consume. Yves Tumor, YVES, and then Tumor, TUMOR. Record came out in 2023. It is fucking great. Artist born Sean Bowie has a gift of presenting sounds we know in ways we don't. So while the surface of praise of Lord, Yves Tumor's fifth record, holy shit, might remind you of late 90s, early 2000s electro rock, the album's twisting songs, structures, and restless detail are phenomenal. I'll tell you what, so give it a spin, man. Yves Tumor. It just blew my, somebody sent it over to me and they said, hey, this is next level. When somebody says that, I'm like, all right, let's see what you think's next level. And it was, he sent me the video on YouTube and it's fucking great. So I'm looking forward to digging into that while I'm out here in Vegas, listening to some records, catching up on some movies, and writing some jokes, my Vegas thing, you know. Next up here, what do we have, my friends? I wanted to give you guys this shout out. We did the watch episode last week, Kevin Christie and I, and it was the Watches and Wonders. And if you haven't heard the episode, or if you don't give a fuck about watches, I get it. Okay. But Watches and Wonders is the big show where Rolex and the big brands show off their new watches for the year. And we covered pretty much everything we loved on it. Well, this year, Rolex did something that I thought was an April Fool's move also. And they've never done this before. At the end of the week, the show is a week long, they dropped one last watch just to fuck everybody up. And this is the 60-year anniversary of the greatest Rolex ever made, the Daytona, the Daytona. So at the end of the week, they dropped a Daytona, and it's first of all, I've never even heard of this from Rolex, and I am a deep watch guy, and so is Kevin Christie, and so is a lot of my friends. I've never heard of this. But anyway, at the end of the week, Daytona dropped a rare, Rolex dropped a rare Daytona gem set. And this is what they said. On the last day of Watches and Wonders, we reveal one of the year's most surprising releases. The new Daytona is part of Rolex's off-catalog 2023 collection. This is incredible. Because basically what they're going to be doing is you got your standard Rolexes that are already hard to get, but they're on the website. This is what we offer. And then they're going to offer some off-catalog custom shit for the super ballers, which is wise, man, because these people get bored with just a regular Rolex. If you're LeBron James, you're like, man, Rolex, you know, fuck, I got them all. Who cares? But they got an off-catalog collection for the most exclusive models reserved for brands' VIP clients. So this Daytona it's basically all rubies and diamonds, and it is insane. And it's called it's $440,000. You have to be a serious baller. And I bet there's a line. I bet there's a line right now for one. People are like, immediately, someone like Jay-Z. Jay-Z wears a $1 million watch all the time. He goes down to the fucking basketball games wearing $1 million watch. That is a full fuck you. I am crazy rich. This is $1 million watch. And I drove here in my $5 million Bentley. Anyway, unreal, man. So I wanted just to throw that out because Rolex has never done anything like that. At the end of the week, put out a custom watch for some off-catalog shit. That is just rad to me. Let's give a quick shout out real quick to some new Patreoners. Dan Badrock. Thank you. Emily Thorner is back. She is a longtime Delraiser and friend, and she has joined back on. She's busting her ass out there going to college in some cold city. Fortune Farms, thank you so much. And that's it for the new Patreoners. But if you want to join the Patreon, it's patreon.com/Dean Delray. I also want to read off the an ad right now. We have the sponsor has returned. Hello Fresh. You fucking are going to eat healthy and you're going to get a deal right here, people. Hello Fresh. Use the code HelloFresh.com. Let me get the code for you just so I don't fuck this up. HelloFresh.com/Delray50, 50, Delray50. That's DELRAY 50. Now, I want you to get the code because people go, what was the code again? So I said it a bunch of times. HelloFresh.com/Delray50. Now, I've been messing with HelloFresh. I'm always trying to eat healthy. I don't have time to go to the grocery store. This is way better of a deal anyway. I get groceries. They always go bad. I'm on the road. HelloFresh is working for me. Okay? With the cost of groceries going up and up, now is the perfect time to get started with HelloFresh. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout. I'm telling you, not only that, but what they don't mention here is how good it is. I mean, the food is perfect. Powering up with protein is easier than ever with HelloFresh. Just check for the protein smart tag. That's the one I do because I like to have a lot of protein and not a bunch of sugar and all that stuff. Featuring 30 grams or more of protein, like one pot pork and black bean chili, which is absolutely my favorite. Creamy Dijon dill chicken. I'm telling you, HelloFresh, and it's a great deal, okay? Here's what you're going to get, all right? Check it out. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients, seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make more cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit, which it is, man. All right. I'm using it. I'm telling you, go to HelloFresh.com/Delray50 and use the code Delray50 for 50% off and free shipping. All right. Free shipping. Go do it. It helps the podcast big time, and it helps you. It helps your pocketbook. It helps your health. One other sponsor, MigosDog.com. Migos Dog is the cleanest dog food on the planet. Don't feed your dog a bunch of garbage, okay? That kibble from China, no good. It's got sawdust in it. It's got chemicals. It's got whatever they feel like throwing in there. And your poor dog is trying to deal with it. And you love your dog. You want your dog to live many, many, many years. Don't feed it garbage. MigosDog.com right now will deliver to your house if you live in Los Angeles, or you can buy it at HelloFresh or Erewhon Markets. All right. MigosDog.com, or follow them on Instagram. Tell them I sent you. They got salmon. They got chicken. They have duck. And they got a beef coming out. So MigosDog.com and hit them up. They got all kinds of deals going all the time. Sign your email up and get emailed deals. Great. Gertie loves it. She's on the salmon. She's back on the salmon. She was on the beef for a while. Then she's like, nah, I want a little duck. And now she's like, take me back. It's salmon season. Anyway, those are the sponsors today. And I appreciate the sponsors. They really help out. All right, let's get back into the show, people. Let's get back into the show. What else I want to talk about here? Oh, yes, I saw the Clive Davis documentary. I've been I'm real late to the game because I don't have a lot of time to watch stuff. So what happened was I was going on to watch the U2 documentary on Disney Plus, and whose ever Disney Plus code I was using, it no longer worked. So I was fired up. Here I am. It was a Tuesday night. I'm at home. I go, all right, I want to watch the U2 doc. I love U2. I'm not one of those people that trash U2. I think they're one of the greatest bands ever. Octung Baby, still one of the greatest tours I've ever seen and one of the greatest records ever made. So I'm ready to watch this. They've got this new record out where they're reinterpreting some of their biggest hits. It's fantastic. I'm ready to watch it. Letterman's on it. Code doesn't work. I'm like, fuck. So now I'm ready. I want to watch something. So I go, fuck it. Let's go over to Netflix here. I use some other code, some other friend's code. Thank you. And I'm skimming through the documentaries, and I was going to watch the David Geffen one. And I thought that's what I pressed. And it turned out it was the Clive Davis doc. Now, Clive Davis and David Geffen, and there's only like 4 or 5 of these people in the record business that are actual. What's the other guy? Amit, the guy that signed Zeppelin from Atlantic Records. These guys are true fucking geniuses. All right. They believed in art. They believed in good music. They believed in supporting the artists, whether it be fucking Zeppelin or Springsteen or somebody seeing U2 or even Eve's fucking the new shit I'm listening to. Anyway, it's amazing to watch this Clive Davis documentary. His story is so unbelievable. I love when I see people's stories and you're like, what? What the fuck? This guy basically was going to law school and gets out of law school, and, you know, this big fucking Sony, Columbia, all that, they want him to run the Fender guitar musical instrument department. And he's like, yeah, I don't really know much about that, you know? And they're like, okay. They give it to somebody else and they go, okay, well, what we want you to do then is, come in, be the lawyer here. And then all of a sudden, they just make him like the head of A&R. Like, yeah, scout out some music. And the fucking shit this guy signed, not ever being in the record business. Ever. I mean, look at this, dude. Springsteen. Okay? Springsteen. That's back on the first 2 records, you have to really hear, everybody was thinking, oh, this is the new Dylan. But those first 2 records, Blinded by the Light and all that, the jazzy lineups, which I fucking love, Greetings, the first 2 Springsteen records, they're crazy good. But if you hear that, you're not going like, big hits. These are going to be big hits. It wasn't about that. He's just like, this guy's a goddamn artist. Let's sign him. Okay. Springsteen doesn't sell any records. They're getting ready to shit can him. If you saw the documentary, Born to Run, if that didn't hit, he was gone. So look, he does Springsteen. Then he signs Santana late in Santana's career, when people are like, what are you doing signing Santana? And then he does that Supernatural record. He goes, well, I'm going to get Santana. I'm going to put him together with other people. And that record sells like 50 million or 30 million records. This guy was on and on and on. He gets, after his first run a little while, he gets caught up in this phony payola lawsuit scheme, and he loses everything. It's unbelievable. They shit can him. He's out, and he had nothing. They had nothing on him. And even Rolling Stone did a story like, hey, it turned out this is a bogus fucking scam. There's no payola going on here. There's no proof. And the main judge was like, this is all bullshit. And it's just how you get fucking gaffled in life by bullshit. Somebody says this, then other people like, and they just like, payola. And then when he comes off innocent, it's in the deep, deep, deep back pages of the New York Times. Turns out Clive Davis didn't have anything to do with the payola way back after the obituaries. Anyway, this guy signed Janis Joplin. This is how it all starts. He gets the job. He goes up to Monterey Pop. He doesn't even know anything about the record business. He doesn't know anything about hippie music, anything. They're playing fucking Sony, Columbia. They're signing like polka acts and shit like that. He goes, smokes a couple joints, sees Janis. It changes his fucking life. Signs her, and the rest is history. I'm telling you, you got to see this goddamn fucking documentary. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love this guy. He's like in the middle of the 70s. We got to get into some R&B and soul music. Earth, Wind, and Fire. All right. And then he's at Arista after the Sony thing. I know this is kind of fucking all over the board, but I'm just kind of remembering it. And it was just so good. But he's at Arista and he's like, got this track record killing it. And they're like the old ageism. They're like, he's about 66. We got to get rid of him. And he's doing nothing but killing it. Alicia Keys, Whitney Houston. What? And then he fucking gets J Records going. And they have huge hits with fucking Puff Daddy and all hip hop and all that world. It's unbelievable. This guy's still out there killing it. So go see the Clive Davis doc, man. Oh, you guys are all like, hey, man, we saw that like 3 years ago. I know. I'm one of those dicks. I seen it so late. It's like Breaking Bad. I didn't start watching it until the 3rd season. And then I was like, you guys watching Breaking Bad? They're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, dude, we've been watching it. So, oh my God, man. Check that shit out. Anyway, I hope you guys can make it out to Vegas. If not, I will be in Texas with Bill Burr, Texas A&M at an arena out there, April, I think, 14th. Yeah, that's what it is. Also, Santa Rosa just got put up onto the gig list. I'm in Santa Rosa in June, I believe. All the shows are on my website, deandelray.com. And the merch is up there too. And remember, the most important thing is I do this podcast hoping you love it, but also hoping that you'll come out to some live comedy shows and enjoy it, I will be seeing you guys out there. Patreoners, I'll see you this week on a Zoom. I will do a live Zoom from Vegas for the Patreoners. And I will also do a bonus episode for you guys. So that'll be fun too. Candles are definitely lit here. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great Easter or whatever you celebrate this week. Whatever it is, it's all good. I'm going to go out and drive some cars out at the Dream Racetrack this week. Hopefully, I'll get to drive the new GT3 Porsche. Dream to drive that. So I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, I'm going to ask you this one thing to do. I ask you to do things because I put the podcast out for you. You can do something for me. Go to my Instagram and share all of the comedy clips in your stories. It takes about 1 second. Just share them in your stories and say, hey, follow Dean Delray. Check out his comedy. It takes 1 second. Just share to your stories. And also share them on your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever. Let's get these comedy clips out. I got a lot of clips going up, and I really like this comedy I'm doing right now. I'm pretty proud of it. It's funny. I just watched a show from 2017, and I used to think I was pretty good back then. Oh man, I watched it. I was like, whoa. Yeah, the people were laughing, but it wasn't to me. I'm glad that I watched it, and I'm glad I didn't watch it and go, ooh, I was better back then. That would have been horrible. Ooh, I was better back then. I watched it and I was like, ooh, all right. There's probably like 2 clips that I could cut out of the hour and post them up. I'm going to post them up this week. But oh man, it was great to feel a little cringed on it. You know, people are like, how come you don't have a special out? Man, I'm glad that thing wasn't out. At the time, I thought it was the greatest. And right now, I truly believe in this comedy that I'm doing. That's why I'm putting it up, you know? So anyway, share it and keep the candles lit. Hope you guys are good. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 600 and what is it? 80, right? Was that 680? I can't remember. I love you guys. See ya.